Did you guys get to watch that scrimmage out there? What am I talking about here? You didn't get to see it? Did you guys see it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, good. That was a blast. We had great work today. Got a bunch of plays in. Wanted to really put our players in as many situations as we could, so they have to think game-like, and it worked out. We had all everything that we needed to do field position-wise, and then we come right down to the last. Offense got to win the game with 1:40 left and a couple timeouts, and then finish with 4 seconds left on the clock. It was really good for both sides of the ball, and a lot of realistic situations came up that we'll learn from. So we go into next week. Next week is really kind of the mock week for an in-season week, and so that adjusts us some with the routine that we do, and we'll simulate each day of the week. As we would, the following week for the regular game. So that's an important week for us as well. So everything's gone very well. We're going to get some guys back on Tuesday. I think 2 or 3 receivers come back to us who just about there today, but they couldn't quite make it. So that'll be nice, and really looking forward to seeing this film. It should be a great film for us to see. What do you got?
John Boyle.
Sure, I'll give it. Pete, you talked earlier in camp about getting some extra ones-on-ones because there's no preseason games and all that. Just when you see those two units going against each other, what have you learned about both sides of it all?
Well, the first thing is it's really competitive. That's the best part of it. There's so much pride on that field, and everybody wants to come out on top, and they know we're going to come in here and watch the highlights and all that kind of stuff. They know that they're battling, just for some swag, and also it's really good. It's so valuable, and the guys are playing so fast that it feels game-like, it feels game speed, and that's all we could hope for here. That's what you're trying to capture, when you don't have preseason games. You want to get it as often as you can so it's as normal as possible, and so it's worked out great.
The defense seemed to be arguing that last play. What was the ruling?
Yeah, well, they thought they had a sack, and the commissioner who has to make that call went with that Russ has eluded a lot of pass rushes in critical situations, and I thought maybe he ducked out of there, and so I gave him that second chance to throw the ball, so they were really mad at me. So that's part of the job, It comes along with the territory. They're going to be mad at you sometimes.
Brady.
Pete, what did you see out of Marquise Blair today?
He had 3 or 4 plays that stood out. I didn't see him play after play. I got to see the film, but he continues to just be a spotlighted player out there. He's all over the field, and he did it. He's done it in all the big matchups, the big mock game opportunities. He's really shown up. He had 2 picks in the one the other day, and just made some really nice plays. I couldn't tell how the ball got broken up way down the field on DK, if he knocked it away or what happened there, but he was right on it, about 50 yards down the field, and so he's playing well at the line of scrimmage, and he's playing well in coverage. He's really probably been the brightest surprise of camp, and what it is that we didn't know how he would cover, being that he was been more of a safety, but he's got great quick feet and great feel for routes, and he covers people as tight as anybody we have on our team.
And what else did you learn about Brandon Jackson's situation? We saw you guys put him on IR today.
Yeah, that from the docs, it's a situation where they don't recommend him playing this season, and he really came out of that episode okay, but it did just in the testing and showing, it did show him that he had a physical kind of a trait that's one to protect, and so everybody's been convinced that the best thing to do is for him not to play this year. And I don't know that that's forever, but I do know for right now. And he's not injured right now, but he's susceptible. So it's similar to situations a couple of other of our guys have had in the past. And we're erring on the side of long-term health and taking care of our guys, and so we had a good meeting with them and talked our way through it and all of that. So let me say this too. He is a great team guy. We love him on our team, and he's got such spirit. He's got great versatility to his play, but he's just been such a great guy in this locker room that we're going to miss him. I asked him to stay around as long as he wants to and be with us all along, and I hope he'll be able to do that.
The concern there, is that related to his neck, or is it related to COVID, or you said it's a trait that you guys are worried about?
No, I don't want to get into what it is because I don't want to try to pretend I'm a doctor. But it has to do with just his makeup, his structure and spinal stuff, and can I mention stenosis? Can I mention stenosis? I don't know. He's just got a condition that makes it possibly dangerous, for him over the long haul. So they want to look after him right now. Sorry, I can't give you more.
Thank you.
Bob.
Yeah, sorry about that. Pete, you mentioned a couple receivers might come back. Is one of those doors set? And then we also saw you sign Paul Richardson. Where does he fit into all this now?
Yeah, Philip is going to, if everything goes right over the break here, this one-day break, he's going to be back with us in limited fashion. Cody Thompson comes back to us as well, and Johnny Ursua should have a chance to come back also. So all three of those guys come back. Phil, we're going to have to figure out how he handles it. We know what his condition is and in a situation with a sore foot, and we just got to manage him really well. As far as Paul Richardson, he's been out there. We've been talking to Paul for some time, and now the timing was right for us to get him in. He's been a really terrific player for us when we had him. He got a great contract to take off and go in free agency, and we got a chance to get him back. So the competition at the spot is really heightened, and he's a terrific downfield guy and playmaker downfield, and we've always loved that about him. So we're going to just put him in the mix and see how it goes.
And you would play a game 2 weeks from today, or you play a game 2 weeks from today, obviously. Where do you feel just in general about where your team is at right now, kind of through this stage of camp? And as you noted, you kind of move into a different stage now.
Yeah, if we can come back this upcoming week, and get a few guys back in action, we'll feel better about it. The receiver group has been really low in numbers, and so it's been a concern the whole time. Running backs, a little bit, it hasn't been solid yet. If we can get those guys all back out there, we held out Carlos today, and Travis, we kept him out today. So it's just really about the numbers. As far as going into the 2 weeks here, this is kind of like if you were getting ready for the Super Bowl, you'd have 2 weeks to do it. It's kind of like what this is. For us, it means who's going to be available to us is what of concern. I like where we're going. We've had really high level practices against one another, and we've had a ton of situations with the leadership that we have, the experienced leadership. It feels like we're in a good position to finish off camp and get ready for the season. So I feel really good about it. We came out of the game the other day, which was for us was like the third preseason game, where we wouldn't play the veterans much in the game 4, and so that was a little bit affected today. Worked out well, so we're feeling pretty good about it. We need to stay healthy and get healthier as we get ready for the opener.
Tim.
Hey, Pete, following up on Brandon really quick, you said that it's similar to something a couple of guys previously had that were here. I mean, obviously Cam and Cliff Averill.
That's what I was thinking about. It's not the same thing as those guys, but it's similar, and it's a similar type of issues, and so how those turned out.
Yeah, and then following up on what your impassioned statement yesterday, I'm curious. You made a call to coaches in that. I'm wondering if you happen to hear from any coaches in the last 24 hours and sort of what those dialogues might have been like.
Yeah, I have not been able to, other than texting, messaging back. Everybody's scrambling in football, but I have heard from a number of coaches, and I don't expect they're going to check in with me. I just want to try to rally the troops, and we have so many opportunities to connect with our players that and extended players and player families and stuff. We need to do our work, and I'm hoping that that'll take place. There's been a lot of positive response to it, and so that helps good.
Greg.
Everybody yell at Greg.
Pete, thanks. Pete, how's Quentin Dunbar come into the defense now? We got 2 weeks till the game. Where would he be if the game started right now?
It's really important for me to see this film today. We had some one-on-ones, and he played with the first group. Trey was out today with a slightly sprained ankle. This is a really unique football player in Quentin Dunbar. He's got terrific awareness. He's got size and speed and all that kind of stuff, so he can do the things that we need our corners to do. But he has terrific awareness. Got very good spatial awareness and playmaking ability and a really good challenge attitude. I really like the way he plays. We don't have a lot of work done with him at this point, so we got a couple more weeks, and the competition will continue. But he's made nothing but positive steps towards playtime, and I really like his savvy and awareness. So it just helps us depth-wise. It makes us better, and it's like we always like seeing that tall guy over there on that right side, and we've seen that for a lot of years, and he certainly can fill that.
Did his late arrival in the no OTAs minicamp set him back more than maybe somebody else?
Some, but coincidentally, he has worked with one of the coaches that has been a secondary coach with us here in his off seasons, and so he came in here with all of our technique terminology in hand. He's already been coached exactly like our guys have been coached. So, and I didn't know that when we went after him. I wasn't aware of that. So that's really made the transition easy for him and for the coaches in communication and stuff. So it's accelerated his sense of comfort with us and understanding what we're doing and all of that. So that just works in our favor. So we're lucky and fortunate by that.
Thank you.
Joe?
Pete, do you still expect Colby Parkinson to be off NFI by week 1?
It's possible. It's possible. This week coming up is really important. If we can get him back this week, then obviously that'll be a positive step for him. But I don't know that yet.
Then any update on Daryl Taylor?
Had a baby. Yeah, had a baby. Yeah, he's still a few weeks away from it. It's going to be hard for him to make the opener. He's going for it, but we got to get him on ground running more than he has so far. He was away for a couple days with the birth of his daughter, and but he's steeped in rehab right now, trying to get him right.
And then is the Dorsett foot thing, is that something you guys knew about when you signed him, or is that pre-existing?
No, it's something that he's felt over the years, but it wasn't been an injury for him. It just got sore here, and once our docs figured out about that he'd felt it before and all of that, they were able to understand maybe how to treat him and all, and it doesn't have any broken bones or anything like that. But he does have they can see where the soreness is and all. So we just got to take care of it and manage it. And he's a really hard-working kid, and he plays at such extraordinary speed. We want to see him full speed, so that he can be the dynamic addition to our receiving group. So we're just going to take care of him. He's a really, really smart football player, which really helps. He totally gets it. He spent a bunch of time with Russ over the summer, so he's in a groove with Russ, which is great. And we just got to. There's going to be some growing and learning here as we see how to manage it.
Ben?
Hey Pete, how do you see the center spot shaking out at this point? Do you still kind of see Ethan as kind of being more comfortable at that spot?
Yeah, he's been in the lead position there. More to start with because of his background with us and all of that, his command of the position in our calls in the system and all, and he's been performing well. He's done a nice job. It's nice to see him go against Puna. He's got two totally different guys than Puna and Monet, and he's holding up well. Kyle Fuller's done a nice job too in there, and BJ Finney is coming along, and so he was obviously the furthest behind in a position where you have to have a lot of command of what's going on, and so the competition it continues, and next week will be really important. We won't call it, we don't need to until the end of next week, and so we'll let those guys keep battling.
Thank you.
Curtis?
I look like I'm looking up into the sky, but you guys are right here. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Like that screen was like way up there. I'm sure you care.
Curtis, we can't hear you.
Michael, are you driving? You're facing the wrong way if you're driving.
Jackie?
No, I'm in the car.
Sorry.
Coach, a couple questions for you on the running back, starting with Chris. He's in the fold today.
Just in general about the running backs?
Chris Carson. Just starting with Chris Carson and just him getting a lot of touches today.
Yeah, that was out of necessity, but Chris has got fresh legs. He's been out of camp some with his family situations that he had to take care of. He looked great today. He was flying around, looked really light on his feet. He's got fresh legs, and it showed. It was a good day, good hot day for him to work, and Chad Morton just mixed his guys, but he only had 3 guys to work with today at practice, so everybody had to play a lot.
And then second, just with DJ Dallas, how you continue to see him progress throughout camp.
Yeah, he's been a stud. He hasn't missed anything. He's taken tons of snaps. He's really picked things up really well. Catches the ball really well. His pass protection, we had a pass protection drill. I can't wait to see the film on that one. He's working hard there. He really gives us, right from the first few days he was with us, I know Russ and the coaches, they really felt confidence in him. He runs routes really well. He catches the ball beautifully, and so that gave him kind of a leg up on his start, and he's done everything quite well. So he's been right in the middle of it, and he's right in the midst of all of the competition on special teams as well. So he's been a terrific pick for us so far.
And I'm sorry, just a quick follow-up on Chris Carson. Do you feel that he's kind of picked up right where he's left off from last year?
Yes.
Even though he came to camp late?
Yeah, he looks great. He hasn't had a snap out here that he didn't look good. He's missed a few days, though, because of family, and so we don't have any hesitation in Chris at all. He's fine and ready to go.
Art?
Pete, regarding Saturday, did you get a response from guys in-house of your players that was particularly meaningful for you?
Was Saturday the day I talked to you? What day is today? Today's Sunday? Yeah, okay. I did. Yeah, I did hear from some of our guys, quite a few, and we've been through a lot together in our time here, in our discussions and in our the revelations that we've all had to work to come to and all, and so things that I said I don't think surprised them at all, but they were happy that to hear somebody say the things that were said, and I was speaking for everybody here. That wasn't just a personal statement. I was speaking for where we have come to as an organization, really, and certainly as a team in this locker room. And so they were just the things that were said were really things that I think and they think too that needed to be said. So it was received okay by our guys.
I just wonder, why is it so difficult in NFL culture to do what you did?
Well, I would think it's just judging from the amount of times that people speak like that in general, it's hard in culture, not just NFL culture. But, our players, let me share something with you. Our players candidly talked about feeling the fear of speaking out on their own behalf. And just because of what they've seen. And they watched what happened with Cap, and they're very sensitive about that. And so, it's players in varying statuses. They've got different feelings about it. And we've shared that whole discussion, and it makes sense. They're just concerned about their job, and it's a hard decision to make. And people all over, and it's not football. People everywhere have to make decisions like that. If I say this, will I be in trouble with the leadership of my company or whatever, wherever they work, or that's kind of classic. I did say, I tried to say pointedly that different people feel different about how their willingness to speak out. On our team, our guys are like that. And some guys are just as strong and bold and know right where they're coming from, and other guys know right where they're coming from, don't want to say stuff. And there's other kids that they're not sure yet, and they're learning and adapting and trying to feel their voice and find their voice. And but I think Art, and just in general, it's easy to understand why people are hesitant at times, because they're not sure, what's going to come of it, what's going to be the fallout of the ramifications, and when you're the oldest coach in the league and you've been around, it doesn't. You don't have to be real bold to say what I said. I mean, I ain't really afraid of what's going on. So, I don't think that was anything courageous or anything. It was just stuff that needed to be said, and there's a whole lot more that needs to be said too. And we'll see.
Thanks.
Michael Sean.
Hey, Pete, for the NBA players who have kind of been speaking out, one big thing for them has been getting their
Weren't you just in your car?
I was getting a ride home. My car doesn't work right now, so I had to get a ride from the stadium.
Can we put a little something together? Can we all put something together so Michael Sean can get around, get to the stadium and get here and stuff? Jeez.
I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
I'll be all right. Okay.
So the NBA players have been really adamant about getting their team owners involved in these discussions about race and just using their political sway, their influence. Have you had conversations with owners, with Jody, about these things, the things you spoke on yesterday?
A while back, not in the last couple of days, but a while back, we've talked, and I know that I have her support, and she stands with what we're doing and how we operate, and she's been fantastic about that. And she helps us in just regular decision making by the obvious support that she gives us. And so I wasn't concerned at all that I didn't mention anything to her. I can see why maybe you should, but she gives me the confidence to go ahead and run this thing and lead by from my heart, and that's how we've been doing it for a long time. But she really gives me the sense and all that we're doing the right thing.
Thanks.
And I've received word from the control room that Curtis has his audio fixed now. Curtis?
Yeah, audio's fixed now, sorry. Pete, I was going to ask about Jordan Brooks and how he's kind of come along for you here recently and progressed up to this stage. It seems like he's had a couple good days here recently.
Who'd you ask about?
Jordan Brooks, sorry.
That's my bad. He just continues to make steady progress. Again, there's another guy. I can't wait to see the film of how he did today because we played him a lot today. There's just no shortcomings in his game. He's physical. He's fast. He's smart. He's really tough. He's already shown that. He's a really good pass defender in one-on-one situations and downfield when in his own stuff. It's just a matter of time that he's going to find himself on the field. He's too good to hold out and keep out of there. So it's really exciting to have our pick make us all feel that kind of confidence in him, and we're just bringing him along and hopefully doing it at a good pace so that he can be really confident and have his mind clear so he can perform like he's capable. He's doing great.
And how are Benson Mayoa and Cedric Abway doing?
Benson has been banged up a little bit last couple of days. He missed a couple of days of practice, but he's made a really good impression. He's practiced at a really high tempo and shown us his heart and kind of how he likes to play the game. Which it's been a few years since we had him. He's really matured and he's a very experienced kid for us now. And so, who was the other guy you asked about?
Cedric Abway.
Oh, okay, Cedric. Yeah, he got banged up today, and he banged up his shoulder a little bit. He's done really well. We played him at left tackle and right tackle. He's physically capable of playing both sides. He's got really light feet, terrific length and athleticism and all that. He gives us a really good swing guy, and he's battling. He's battling with B. Shell, and he's got a lot of reps over, on Dwayne's side. So. I don't know what happened, what the extent of the injury is today, but he's done a really good job so far, and we're counting on him to be part of it.
Thanks, Pete.
Okay, thank you. We've got Jamal here coming up.
Good. Here's Jamal.